What's going on, guys? It's Jet Fan here again. Gotta look at my Cheshire command build with Bruce Fraser, 14 with Makawa, and I like to be on range, fire, damage, and of course steering because I like uh, to avoid getting hit as much as possible. Kicked around the idea of getting rid of Gunichi Makawa for Vian for the dispersion, but I've been kind of on the fence about it. So this year, pretty darn good game in Cheshire. Cheshire is a tough ship to play. I mean, let's be honest here. It's a very difficult ship to play. I think what makes Cheshire good um, is the fact that it's sneaky in the sense that if you spec into rudder shift and some maneuverability, you can really get this thing to have a back end that can swing pretty quick. All right, with a kind of a hybrid build, I'd like to call it. Um, I have this thing down to 4-second rudder shift, and you say, well, that's not that good. But see, look at that. I mean, perfect example right there. I barely hit the end lugs. Look how quick that back end reacts. So, I mean, this ship is a pretty agile ship. I also have the range set to. I actually just got it up to 17. Um, yeah, 17-1. There you go. There's the stats right there. 17-1 for the range. Um, I think it's pretty important to have that little bit of range because, again, you don't want to be taking fire. You don't want to be the juiciest target on the enemy team. So I'm sitting here trying to line up a shot, trying to support this Fubuki as it pushes into B. I really ideally wanted him to go to C, but I'm not going to go sail by myself into a cap. Enemy Fubuki pops up. Trying to sail around this corner here to get a shot. Obviously, you see torps are incoming. I didn't know if there was another destroyer in that cap, so I kind of was a little hesitant to just sail in, and I also wanted to pop that the sonar, so I had an idea, you know. Um, so that's where it is, and of course we're gonna push this Fubuki because I believe that as a cruiser, that's our job is to aggressively go after enemy destroyers. There you see the other plume cloud for smoke. I didn't know if that guy was still gonna be there or what. But again, I'm gonna push this Fubuki. Okay, my enemy Fubuki, um, not a huge threat now that the torps are gone. He dumped the torps, so we're just gonna go right after him. There you go. You know, he's at inside of 4 kilometer spotting, so we're just gonna punish him. And there's the first sinking for us. And he goes down. I'm mindful of that Dunkirk and the Colorado that I saw, so I'm trying to not expose myself. And there you go. Okay, Akazuki pops up, we slam on the hooks, right? And watch those torps just harmlessly go by. So we're an aggressive Cheshire. Okay, we're aggressive in the sense that we want to go after these destroyers, we want to sink them. You're gonna see me miss this shot here, I'm pretty sure. It's the second time I've watched this, and the first time was a while ago, so yeah, there you go. Of course. How those missed, I couldn't tell you, but somebody, and out he goes. Okay, so obviously a product of being spotted, right? So now we're gonna start working on flipping this cat. Okay, we see the way the game's playing out. We got a giant clump of ships between B and C. Not a good place for us to be. We don't really want to be clumped up in there. We want to be trying to flex our muscles, protecting caps, aggressively going after caps. You know, we don't want to be sitting in no man's land between B and C. If you look on the mini map, we have basically almost our entire team there. And of course, we're now allowing them to push into A, and C is basically nobody's gone for it, which I'm pretty shocked about. But so you kind of get a notion here. I'm looking to just get some shots off. I'm looking to keep capturing this base, and once I cap this base, I'm going to kind of reassess and go from there. So, and this I'm getting a little freaked out because I don't want my Fubuki, our destroyer, to be, and of course he goes down. So I'm trying to get him to turn around. He doesn't. We take the cap. Now we're looking to get a shot off on this Aoba. Cheshire's guns, they're tough sometimes. I mean, that's a shot right there that you would expect to absolutely punish somebody. But you're gonna get, because it is a higher caliber gun, especially for a tier 6, okay? people don't really. I mean, if you look, it's got higher caliber guns than the standard tech tree line does now for the British heavy cruisers. It's a tough ship to play because you get a lot of overpens with the AP, and then you get a lot of kind of wonky, almost dispersion because it is again a higher caliber shell. And there you go. We expected the torps are coming. There's the Citadel. We turned away. So here's this what I'm talking about. That Dunkirk. That Dunkirk's still out there. He's kind of basically playing like we were talking about earlier. That rook position. He's not letting people get into um, past kind of the fork. There are those like three little islands going north of sea. He's kind of holding that down and locking people behind that. And of course, our team did a good job. Now we finally pushed into sea, so now we're in a decent spot. We may be down ship count, but we have the cap point advantage, and that's going to be huge for us. Okay, that's huge because that 250 to 350 score is going to start dwindling. There's plenty of time left in this game. I wanted to take a shot there at the Colorado, but my better sense prevented me from doing so. Here I'm saying to myself, those two battleships are so far away from the map, they're really not going to make an initial, any immediate impact on the game. And if I were to pull the trigger, I'd be the only thing that I could really probably be seeing right now. It's a juicy target in a Cheshire against 16-inch Colorado US AP guns. Not a good matchup. So I waited till I was basically going to dip around the corner. We spot the Helena almost dead. So we're going to go sail aggressively at this Helena to try to get rid of it. We don't have to worry about a torp threat. As long as we don't sail completely broadside and he doesn't have AP loaded, we are going to be able to knock this guy off the board. So you have to be selective in your shots in the Cheshire. That's critical. If you are just willy-nilly trying to sail super aggressive, if we see Leander trying to push it to the B cap, throwing some random torps down there, seeing if we could pinch him. Back to what I was saying. If you just start throwing shells out willy-nilly in this ship, you are going to be having very short games. Okay? We loaded the HE here because I didn't know if he was going to come around with his bow in, and I didn't want to take the chance of whiffing on that shell and not doing damage. Of course, the secondaries chime in and immediately sink him. So that's a good job there by the secondaries. We get a close quarters for our second kill. 34,000 damage. So now we're going to flip the back end around, go into the B cap, try to protect the B cap from a Leander that's trying to cap it. Again, I like to play Cheshire as a cap pusher, aggressive cap pusher. 10.6 on the spotting isn't the best, but it's okay to be aggressive in this ship. A lot of people think that you can't be. You have to be selectively aggressive. So you can't just start throwing yourself at the enemy. You will not last long. I know where the two battleships are, right? I have that island in the way between them once I sail toward kind of sea. So my goal here is to push the Cheshire, or push the Leander with the Cheshire. Right? See, look at that quick rudder. That rudder reacts so well. You're able to quickly adjust. I'm waiting for the torpedoes. He only sends one. I'm a little worried that he has more, but I figured if he had more, he would have more on the way. So my guess is he fired a couple early on in an early engagement, and he only had the one left. So he pops the heel, pops the smoke. Buddy, that's not going to work for you. I'm just going to keep pushing this guy, because at this point I'm saying to myself, if he does not have, if he hasn't set torps to me, he doesn't have one. So I'm thinking he's going to keep drifting forward. He threw on the hooks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bait him and make him think that I'm going to keep sailing the back way, and then I'm going to use the real quick rudder, flip it over here, and I'm going to send the left side, the port side torps, and he's gone. Okay. So now I'm going to bum him, and I'm going to take his smoke. I'm saying to myself, I got an Ioba who's about to pop around the corner. We're going to take some shots at him. Let's punish him. Maybe we can actually do something this time. And the AP response. 2 Citadels. Right off the bat. So, you want to see the power of the Cheshire. Okay, you saw how much health that Ioba had. Alright, now watch in 2 salvos what happens to Ioba. He's gone. He's off the board. That's filthy. So now I'm going to try to back up. I was pulling forward because I was a little worried about torps on the way, but he didn't have enough angle to get him off. I'm trying to, again, work on flipping this base. And in the meantime, I'm going to probably take a shot or two at the Colorado because I have the island concealment and I have the smoke. So I'm going to do that. We're going to see if we can get a fire or two started on this Colorado. We got 4 sinkings. Okay. That's a good little salvo right there. Okay, so now at this point, by taking out those two cruisers, we basically have put this game in a very good spot. It's not a win or a lock, okay? Because look at where we are. Alright, look at where these teams are. We have 2 broadside targets to both of them. Okay, if this goes south, this can get, obviously pretty ugly here. Okay, you have both our friendly ships are broadside on to the 2 enemy battleships. You look just on the minimap. They may be a slightly angled, but from a minimap standpoint, and what I can basically see, I'm saying, well, that's not exactly where you want to be. So at this point, I was hoping to get the Kraken from a selfish standpoint there, but obviously it didn't work out at that point. So now we're switching our attention to the Dunkirk. I'm going to try to get some fires on the Dunkirk. Cheshire is actually a pretty good HE hitting ship, and if you use the AP correctly in situational play, that's devastating as well. But the HE does hit, the HE does do damage, and the HE can set fire, especially with the Frazier build when you use the slot 2 perk, right, to increase your fire chance. This thing becomes very, very proficient at setting fires. There's the sinking, there's the Kraken. We game in the Cheshire. Cheshire is all about angling, knowing when to push, knowing when it's time to kite away, retreat. You didn't see much kiting in this game, but I like the Cheshire a lot. You're going to see a lot of games in the Cheshire coming out here on the channel. Again, I hope you guys like this one. 102,000, chest full of medals. Yeah, 3,300 base XP. If you guys liked the video, give it a like. If you like the channel, please subscribe. There's going to be more warships coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game. And again, we will see you on the high seas out there. And I will have another video coming out very soon. Take care.